It's Mandy for Thunder Horse Descendants. I'm here for morning coffee. Morning coffee club. I'm gonna get me pulled up over here so I can get the comments. I shared to Facebook. Excuse me. I shared to Facebook so that you guys would know I'm gonna be on early today. Early is 9 a.m. But like I said, I'm trying to be better about doing morning coffee since I'm all over with my lives. Hi, Stacia. Stacia, you're awake. Do you have your coffee mug? Stacia, do you have this one, Stacia? Yes, Stacia has this one, I think. Is this the one you have, or do you have the Be Unique one? Oh, something's happening. Norton, nobody cares about you. Get out of here. There we go. Yes, ma'am, I got one. I got some new coffee cups coming. Good morning, Christine. I got some new coffee cups coming. Stacia said she needed a traveling mug. So I called up Serena from, cannot remember anything. Good morning. I have a sinus headache. Oh, that's too bad. Good morning, Clarice. I called up Serena from, I can't remember. Creative Designs? No. Anyways. I can't think of it right now. Creative Creations? I can't remember what the name of it is. She's going to kill me. Anyways, I'll post it up. But I had showed some video of when she was making the cups and they were curing because I ordered teal and I ordered black. And then there was a lot of people who commented saying they would like to have a coffee cup as well. So I put in another order. So here's the cool thing about that. So the cool thing is like us handmade makers supporting other handmade makers. So I ordered them from Serena, who's from Keene. So I'm from Keene, or like Keene, Watford, North Dakota. So me and Serena went to high school together. She's younger than me, but we went to high school together. And then, so they're for Thunder Horse Descendant for my website. Serena made them. And the logo that goes on the front of them was made by our friend Melissa Zier, who also went to high school with us. So us three girls are just out here doing creative process. So we just kind of like merged, and it's pretty cool actually. Yeah, but if you hear all that goings on, I gotta clean my coffee pot. It's really angry this morning. We have hard water and it gets like angry. Anyway. So, yeah, I'm excited that the coffee cups are going to be coming. She said the first shipment is coming, and then the second shipment, I just put that order in, so it will take a little while, but yeah, so I'm super excited. This time I ordered teal and purple. So all together we will have a lot of teal, black, and purple. And maybe lime green, because I was like, oh, if you have some lime green, maybe that. I don't know. Anyway, so update on Randy's medical goings-on. The doctor called yesterday, and he said that he got the results of my B12 test, and he said that I had like none, like very little B12 in my system. And so he's like, go to the store and start taking 1,000 milligrams of that. And I was like, geez, okay. Levi called it when we were wondering what the noise was. Yeah. The coffee pot. It's the angry coffee pot. It's been making that same pot of coffee for, I don't know, an hour. It's still not even halfway done. Well, minus this cup that I stole out of there. Hi, Heidi. Okay, so some people had questions. I posted my video yesterday for Jesse James, and in the comments of the questions, I go through the comments and like answer questions or whatever. And somebody had asked if I would talk about starting an Etsy store on morning coffee. So I said that I would talk about that today. I'm not gonna like get super like really into detail about it, but I will just tell you about my experience with Etsy. And if you guys have questions, hi Tony. If you guys have questions, just comment them and then I'll try to answer. So for me, I started Etsy in 2015. So when I started Etsy, I was just doing it as like a hobby. I didn't start out being like, oh, I'm going to be Thunder Horse Descendant and whatever. It was just like I was buying a lot of beads and I was making a lot of stuff. And then I had this stuff and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this stuff? I got to buy more beads because that's the goal. Right? I mean, really. So I was like, okay, well, I'll start up a little Etsy store. So to start Etsy, it doesn't cost you any money to start up with Etsy. Try not to shake the table. I better not lean on it. It's shaking my camera. Stop it. It doesn't cost any money to start an Etsy shop. The only way that it would cost money is if you wanted to have also the pattern website. So as an example for me, I have, most of you know, I have the Etsy shop, which looks like everybody else's Etsy shop. And then I have pattern, which is a little bit different and gives me a little more like design leeway on how I want the layout to be. And like I can put a banner on there and I can have a blog. I can have like a gallery page where I can put photos of past work that I've done, stuff like that. So if you want that with a web address, so like my web address is www.thunderhorse-descendant.com. If you want that, then hi Rosanna. Well, you're never late to a Thunder Horse Descendant doings. If you want that, then you have to pay for pattern, and that's $15 a month. So with that, you get like, I don't know, a couple free listings and some ad money and like you get like a few perks, but mostly the perks is you get your own web address, and then you also get to pick a template of how you want your store to look. So or your website. Now, just because you have a website on pattern, everything is still going to be processed through Etsy. But I have done lots of research on figuring out like, is Etsy the best platform for me? Yes, and you can't leave a review with pattern. Right. Christine and I found out recently that you can't leave, if you order from my pattern store, you cannot leave a review on the pattern store. You can only leave a review if you order from my Etsy shop, even though they're all processed through Etsy. They still haven't said anything about that, Christine. They sent me a thing and said, how did you like your help? I was like, well, anyway, I've done lots of research about Etsy and about different platforms. You guys, this coffee pot's driving me crazy. I gotta shut it off. I feel like I'm like screaming at you. Stop. Like losing my voice already. Cripes. What help? That's what I said. Yes, and we can't leave a review on pattern. So I've done lots of research about it, and this is what I found out. So myself, I am not like very tech savvy. I don't know how to write code for websites. There's a lot of things that I don't know how to do. The things that I do know how to do, I had to like look up and Google and YouTube and learn and try to figure it out. And what I found is that I've tried Shopify, Etsy, Pattern, Wix. I tried Squarespace for like a minute, Squarespace. And what I found is that Etsy is designed as a selling platform for people like me who have small batches of items. Maybe it's a one-of-a-kind item. It's easier to use because there's not as many options. You can't do as much stuff. Like you couldn't decide, oh, today I'm going to put this little pop-up thing on my Etsy shop and it's going to ask people to take a survey. You can't do that, where you could do that with like Shopify and like other things, have a loyalty points program and all these different things. But here's the kicker. You have to pay for all of those. They call them apps. You have to pay for all of those apps in addition to, I think when I was doing Shopify, I want to say it was like 30 something dollars a month to have it. And then if you want to, that's just like bare bones stuff. Okay. Then if you want to have, like I had to pay, to have people to be able to do reviews. I had to pay for that. So although we can't have reviews on Pattern, you get free reviews on Etsy, and I don't have to pay for that. That's included. I know I can never describe items and all that other writing stuff on Etsy. You can do it, Stacia. I thought that too. And I can talk a little bit about how I do that. But yeah, so what I found out for myself is that although Etsy can be a pain in the butt, it's the most user-friendly for me. It's the easiest for me. Basically, when you go in to make a listing, it's a list of questions. It's the same questions all the time. It says, like, what is this? When did you make it? Who made it? What's it made out of? It's got some drop-down options. How big is it? How much does it weigh? Blah, blah, blah. Then you get to the little description where you can put in your information. And then it goes into shipping, and you can set up shipping profiles on there. So you don't have to go through them every time. You just click it. Now you got a shipping profile. Put your photos in there. Put your little video in there if you have that option. Make sure everything's, in the right section, and then you publish it. When I did Shopify and I tried to switch my stuff over to Shopify, the problem I was having, and they couldn't figure it out. Now, this was 2 years ago. It was like 2 years ago. They have tags, and everything that you put in your shop, you have to put a tag on it. Now, it's not like a tag like you're thinking like, oh, it's a tag for people to search you. It's a tag for your own shop. And they have like pages that are viewable and then pages that are not viewable, which is really weird. Instead of it just being like you click a button on Etsy and it's unlisted, it's still there, but it's unlisted. You have to put in all these tags, and then once that item sells, so here was my problem. I have one-of-a-kind items. That item would sell and it wouldn't come off the website because I didn't have the right tag on it. So I spent hours and hours on the phone with this guy, and I'm like, well, I don't understand. It's a whole coding situation that you have to know about to run that thing. Once you can get into it, I think that it would be fine, but it's for me, I was like, look, I got 800 things going on. I don't have time to be worrying about, do I have the right tag on there, because I can't double sell something. And I was really paranoid about that because pretty much all of my items are one-of-a-kind items, and I don't want to sell to Christine the necklace and then Rosanna buys the necklace, and now I got to call Rosanna and tell her, oh, because I probably don't have those beads anymore. Who knows where those beads came from. And then I have to say, oh, well, I can return it or whatever because I have to worry about my website. Like, no. This is just my opinion. I get very angry at Etsy sometimes because they call up in the morning and they say, today, we are no longer going to offer blah, blah, blah. Today, we're going to take 5% of your sales. It's like, what? That's what they do. But I look at it as being like, okay, well, when they come out with these new things, I was kind of upset at first about like they wanted everybody to offer free shipping, and they said, well, our research shows that if you offer free shipping, you're more likely to get a sale. But then, all the sellers had to look at their stuff and go, can I afford to offer free shipping if I ship this? It was like this, it's like this whole thing. And, but it is true for even for myself as a consumer, when I'm looking at something, I don't like to pay for shipping. I will even search things. I will search on the internet in the search before I even start the search, things with free shipping. Won't even look at stuff if it doesn't have free shipping, because then I can't be tempted to buy something that doesn't have free shipping, or I buy it on Amazon Prime because I'm already paying free shipping over there, So I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. But I had to get in the kitchen and rearrange some stuff, I am not Tyler. It's a typer. I'm not Tyler. I'm not Tyler either. Need to add some to the price to have free shipping. Yeah. Well, and if you are starting an Etsy store and you're going to offer that free shipping option, you really want to look at your shipping stuff. Of all the things, you can charge whatever you want for your items. Of all the things I would say is always make sure that you know about shipping. It took me a while to learn about shipping. So basically, this is what I know. Shipping is in my store is $4.25. The post office just recently raised rates a little bit, but my $4.25, I think they put it up a quarter. So for a first class package that weighs no more than about 8 ounces, is $4.25 to ship pretty much anywhere in the United States. If it's more than 8 ounces, but less than 16 ounces, because nothing that weighs over 16 ounces can go first class. It has to go priority if it's over 16 ounces. That's where you have to know about those shipping. You got what I would do, what I told my girlfriend when she wanted help starting her store and she was going to ship stuff. Get your shipping stuff, like your bubble mailers or your boxes or whatever it's going to be, and figure out the dimensions, figure out how much the shipping is going to be, because you don't want to get an order and be all excited about it, because I've done this, and then realize, oh, I have to ship this to whatever, and it's really heavy because it's really a lot of stones, and now it's went over that 16 ounces, so now I got to ship it priority, and now it's $8 instead of $4, so that profit I was going to make is now gone. So you don't want to end up in that situation. If something is heavy, hi Nancy, first time catching this. Oh, well, welcome. I'm here in the morning time doing coffee. We welcome you to come have coffee. Today we're talking about Etsy things and whatever. So you want to know about your shipping. If it's over 16 ounces and you know that it's going to have to go priority, then just put it as priority as $8. If you send it by first class, it's going to take longer to get there. You might save a couple of bucks on shipping, but then you're going to have to weigh it if you want to do that. Now, this is an extra step. You take your item and your little cards and your whatever you're going to put in the envelope. Inside the envelope, you don't seal it, but you just put everything in there, put it on your scale, see how much it weighs. And then you can put that into your listing, and it'll tell the person exactly how much it's going to cost to ship it. So basically, I need a scale. Yeah, don't do anything without a scale. Scales are not expensive. You can get, I got mine in the food department. It's just a little digital scale, and it does grams and ounces. You just basically need to make sure it does ounces. Pounds if you're doing something really heavy, but most all of them do. Mine's like this big. It's for the kitchen. It was like $6. So you want to have a scale, because if anything is over 16 ounces, it needs to go priority. You can order priority bubble mailers from the United States Post Office for free. The bubble mailers that I use, they're plastic and they have bubble wrap inside. Okay, so here's the trick on that. If you're like, well, I got this big bubble mailer and it's 8 by 11 and I don't need that because I just have this little tiny thing. Whatever fits inside that envelope ships. So if you want to put your item in a big box to protect it and then put it inside the envelope, that's fine. You can do that. As long as it fits in there, it'll ship for $8. It doesn't matter if it weighs 17 ounces or 17 pounds. It cannot weigh over 70 pounds. That much I know. They have these in Etsy in the shipping listings when you go to priority shipping. So super easy. It just has them all listed. Is it a bubble envelope? Is it a small box? Is it a medium box? La-di-da. Okay. So you just pick it, and then it won't ask you to weigh it if it's priority because you don't have to weigh it. Then those also come with insurance. You want to make sure if you're shipping stuff that you insure everything. I buy my postage from Etsy. It offers me a discount on shipping. I have tried other like Shippo. I tried Shippo. I tried Stamps.com. I tried like other things. And what I found out is that I had a big fight with Stamps.com. Hi, Stamps.com, if you're watching. He told me I was gonna have a savings of 21% on my order, whatever, on all my orders if I order this. And so I did. And then I get in there and I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, this is not 21%. And I call up and I'm like, hey, this is not 21% savings. We have this whole conversation. He's like, well, I don't know. And I'm like, you don't know about math? Is there somebody there who might know about math? Because this is not adding up over here. Went all the way up to the CEO of the Stamps.com company, and he couldn't explain to me where my 21% savings was. Then he said, well, it's up to 21%. I said, that's not what it says on the website. It doesn't say that. When I ordered this, it didn't say that. So I was just like, okay. With Etsy, when someone makes an order, it comes in there, has their address. So you could ship a small dog. You could did you know you could ship chickens in the mail? Live animals. Basically, I need a scale. Pirate ship, if you are not going through Etsy or PayPal. Yeah. I've heard that pirate ship is good. But you always want to make sure that you're insuring everything. To insure anything with Etsy is 80 cents. Of course, if it's like $1,000, it's more, but it's usually like for all my packages, usually about 80 cents. And I have that factored into the $4.25 that people pay when they order from me. So you're going to order $4.25. You're going to get a first class envelope that has insurance on it for how much ever your product is worth. So that way, if you lose it, which I've only ever lost one package, well, it didn't get lost. It got damaged. Fell off the truck or something. My one girlfriend sent me a photo. It just looked like a dog tore into it. I was like, okay. Good morning. Is that Rebecca? Good morning. Live chickens. Yes, you can ship live chickens. So anyway, the moral of the story is that you have to know about shipping. But once you get going on your Etsy store, you're going to learn about it because you don't want to spend money on shipping. You know, you want to make sure all your packages are insured just in case somebody loses them. So if it's insured, they can go on to the USPS if you send it first class. I got one from Candy Cooper that looks like it got ran over by a truck. And if anybody has a problem, then they can go damaged mail, la-di-da, and they can file an insurance claim. And basically the insurance claim, of course, will take time for all that to get paid out and everything as insurance is. But then you're not going to be responsible for shipping out a new item. Because what if you shipped out a one-of-a-kind item that took you, I don't know, 2 weeks to make, and then now the person's calling and saying, well, we either want our money back. Let's say it was a lot of money. Let's say it was $200. it's $200 and they want their money back, and or they want another item. So now your option, if you want to keep your client happy and not have a negative review, is to either spend 2 weeks making another item or dish out $200. And it's like, well, do you really know if they got the item? Really? So that's why you say, well, that'll weed people out right away if they're fibbing to you and saying they didn't get the item and they did. You go, well, you need to go onto the USPS website and file an insurance claim. And they're going to look up the tracking on all of it and they're going to see where it is. And if they say that it's been delivered, then they're not going to pay out that insurance claim. You know what I mean? So that's helpful, and it kind of gives you a little bit of, so you don't have to worry about those types of things. It's not always a great transaction, but if you have good customer service, and rapport with your people, usually it's fine. How much is insurance? Insurance is, it ranges based on how much insurance you want to put on a package, but for the most part, like my packages is 80 cents. For I could go all the way up to $100, it's 80 cents. If you're doing priority and you're paying the $8 for priority shipping, those automatically come with $100 insurance. If you want to put more, then it's an additional, dollar or whatever. But see, you can set all these things up all this information is on the USPS website, and you can set all these things up on your shipping profiles. So you don't have to think about all these things when you're going to put your listings in. You just say, okay, I'm going to set this one to priority because it weighs a lot. I'm going to set this one to first class. And then when you go to make your label, all that stuff is going to be generated for you. And it will always ask you, do you want to add insurance at the bottom? As far as the descriptions go, I fill out, when you're filling out your Etsy form on, when you're listing something, number one thing, put all 10 photos. All 10 photos. I don't care if, you got to put in there, come join me on the live. You got a little ad that says, come join me on the live. You got to put in a bunch of pictures of Jake at the end, whatever. Put all 10 photos, because number one, the more photos you have, the higher up in the search engine on Etsy you're going to be. Number one. Number two, the photo that you choose is going to be what sells your product. People don't read. And if they do read, it's a secondary thing. They'll be scrolling, looking at stuff. They'll say, oh, that's interesting. They'll look through the photos. And then if they like it after they see all the photos, then they will read your description. That's just kind of how it is with our digital world. Now, it's not like that for everybody, but for the most part. So when you pick a tile photo that's going to show up, you want to pick the best photo that you have clearly of your image. You want the whole image to be in the photo. What I've learned about this is Etsy still kind of does this. It's weird. It's like a weird thing. When you put a photo into that main photo that's going to show up on the shop, it zooms in kind of at a weird angle, kind of. It's always done that. I don't know why. So what I do is I take a far away shot. So then when it zooms in, it's you can still move it around because it was a far away shot. You do not want a super close up zoomed in on a portion of your item, because then you know what it is, so you know what it is. But a person who doesn't know what it is, they're like, what is that? It's a bunch of beads? Mr. Bunston's picture could sell anything. I wish I had someone to sell my stuff for me. Yeah. Well, and that's kind of the thing. When I got into doing this, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be a thing that I'm doing. And then it took off. Here we are. And now I'm at a point right now when I've been at this point for a while, but I just was afraid. I have to hire some people to help me, or I got to get some contract people to help me or something. because I can't do everything. And then now I have this medical stuff going on. And I think it was just like, well, we're going to have to get some help here. And that's fine because, this is the way I think of it. What I'm doing is I'm reaching out to my friends. Now, you use your friends if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. But I'm reaching out to like my stay-at-home mom friends who want to make a little extra cash, or people who I know are maybe got their hours cut from their full-time job, and you just want to do a couple things, take some photos, or put descriptions up online, write descriptions for the items, that type of thing. And I'm talking with them. I'm actually going to talk with Crystal today, hopefully, and just look at it that way, because it is very time consuming. I can spend all day. I spend one whole day a week putting up 10 new items in my shop. I'm crazy about my descriptions, so that's a me problem. It doesn't have to be that bad. It doesn't have to be. What I do is I have like a little template that I've set out for myself. If you go in my shop and you look at my items, they all kind of have the same template. So when I go into that Etsy thing, I put all 10 photos, then I put my little video, and then I put the title. I answer all the questions. I know you're going to be tempted to not answer all the questions, but the more of the questions you answer, these are all attributes of your item. So when someone on the other end of the internet goes in and says, oh, I want a bird nest necklace. I want a pink bird nest necklace. They're going to put that into the search. If you didn't put in the attributes that your bird nest necklace is pink, you're going to be further down in the ranking than somebody who did put it in there. So even though you put it in the description, you put it, what color is it's pink, even though you put it in the description, if it's not in the attribute questions, in the little questionnaire, you're going to be further down in ranking, which means people are not going to find you as easy. They're going to have to go searching for you. There's a lot of people on Etsy, so you got to try to give yourself a leg up there. That's why it takes a lot of time to do the descriptions. Now, you don't have to do that. If you're selling to, friends and family, people who know you, people who are coming in and checking on your shop a lot, and you're not really looking for what they call organic traffic. Organic traffic is people who found you just by accident. They found you on Etsy because they were looking for something. They found you on, whatever, because they Googled. That's called organic traffic. If you're looking for driven traffic, which is traffic that you're like, I'm like, hey, it's Randy, visit my website. It's www.thunderhorse-descendant.com, and I've got some bird necklaces on there, and they're pink. I don't, actually. I don't, but that's driven traffic. That's me going out on another platform and advertising myself. So, I fill that out. When I do my description, what I did is I went into Word or whatever, Google Drive, you just have a Word document, and you could just put the questions like, I know at the top of all of my listings, I know what stones it is that I'm using or whatever. So I have a little blurb, and I've saved this little blurb in a Word document, so I don't have to go looking around for it all the time. So let's say it's a turquoise necklace. So then I put in the little blurb about turquoise. Turquoise is a protection stone used by Native Americans throughout history. They wore turquoise into war, and also for ceremonies and all these different things. And I put that in there. Then underneath that, it's the same stuff. I say length, and I have this written out, length. And then all you got to do is go in there and edit that. It's 18 inches long. Is it adjustable? No. Is it la-di-da-di? Here's the other stones that are included in the necklace. So maybe it's not all turquoise. It's got other stones. So then you just list them out right there. If you list them out in your description, other stones, and you list out all the beads you use, you can just copy that, go down to tags, paste it into tags, and now you got all your, or not tags. The one below tags is materials used. So you paste it into there. It's going to make like a little hashtag in materials used. And these come up at the very top of the listing when it goes onto the website. Those are also things that people are searching for. Okay, so you've got them in there now. They're in your description and they're also in your materials. Hello, Randy and everybody. Hello, sweet friend. You look great. Thank you. I showered. I've showered. I put on lipstick and I got on my earrings that Miss Gina sent me from September Moon. I wore some earrings today. She gave me these for when I got 1,200 subscribers on YouTube. I'm so glad I could tune in this morning. All of this information is very helpful and I really appreciate it. Oh, good. Thank you. So you do the listing, you put all whatever attributes you want there. Like if you want to say what kind of metal it is, if you want to say whatever, but I just have that saved as like a little outline in a Word document. So I can just copy paste it, stick it into my listing, and then I can edit it, fill it in for that particular thing. And then underneath, I have a little blurb about shipping. You always want to put in about your shipping, even though it's on there and it says it's going to ship in 2 days or it's going to whatever it's going to do. I always put it in the bottom. This item is ready to ship, because this tells people, if you've ever been on Etsy and you're looking and you're like, do they still have to make this item? Is this like a made to order item? Am I going to have to wait 2 weeks for this item to get made and then they're going to ship it to me? So I always say in there, this necklace is made and ready to ship in 1 to 2 business days, so they know. And then I also put down there that I offer, if you order it as a gift, I will gift wrap it, and that's free. You just leave your gift information in the comment section of your order. So that's my little description. And then underneath you have your tags, and this is where you're going to put it's handmade, it's teal, it's made of turquoise gemstone, it's whatever, whatever you want to put there. Maybe it's bohemian, stuff like that. You can Google those tags on eRank, which is free on eRank, and you can look to see what tags are people using and which ones are the most popular. I don't do that, but I probably should do that. I'm just like, who has the time? Maybe it's a Western necklace. Maybe it's, whatever it is. You put that there in the tags. Underneath you have your materials, which you've already listed out in the description. So you just copy and paste those. If they don't go in, you just put a comma after it. And then they'll go in. Then you do your price. And then you do your SKU number. Now, in the beginning, when I started, we love you even when you don't shower. Thank you, Melody. I was so tired. I feel a little better today. I think that B12 is working for me. I took it 2 days now and it's working, I think. So when I first started, I never used a SKU system. And because I was very small and I didn't think that I would need one. And then as things progressed, I realized I better have a SKU system. So what I did is I go into Google Docs in the Google Excel sheet, and that's where I keep in Google Drive, which is free. That's where I keep my SKU sheet for everything. So every time somebody orders something, or every time I list something, I just copy the title. I give it a number. You can put pages on your Excel document. So I have a page for necklaces, sets, earrings, la-di-da. And so whatever it is, I go in there and I put necklace, so N-143, whatever the number is. And then I put the title and I put the little description of like kind of what it is, general idea. It's a turquoise necklace with a silver pendant or whatever. And then I put the price. And that's how it is in my SKU thing. Once I put that in there, I just take myself a little piece of paper, a little Post-it or something, or a sticker, and I write on there N143 and I put it in with that item. So then when I go back to my listing, I put the SKU number as N43 because that's what I've put it into my SKU system as. And I have one of them. It's very important that you check how many of your quantity, because it'll automatically put one. But if you like get good at this and you start copying and moving listings and doing all these different things, which you can do on Etsy, you might end up where you had 5 of this other thing and now you've copied that listing and now it says you have 5 of this necklace, but you really only have 1. So you gotta make sure you check that. You should charge for your Etsy tutorial. Oh, who has the time to set up a charging fee? You could send me a super chat. I have a super chat. So the next thing about the SKU system, okay. So what I did is I went to the Dollar Tree and I got these little crates and they stack up on top of each other. They're like miniature milk crates, okay. So I labeled each little miniature milk crate and I said necklaces, earrings, sets, whatever. And so once I have my item in the SKU sheet and it's on Etsy and it's listed and it's got that little post-it in there, it says what number it is, I take that and I put it in the necklace basket. And put in the earring basket, in the whatever. And so then when I get orders, what I do is I have my SKU sheet pulled up on one page and I have my orders and I start, because then I can just look for the number. Now you don't have to go run around looking for what kind of necklace is it and whatever. It'll tell you N143. So you go to the necklace basket, you pull out N43, you go into the SKU sheet and you can highlight on the SKU sheet with your mouse. You can do a highlighter and you highlight that and then it says it, once it's highlighted, then it's sold. So you take it off the SKU sheet. Now you know that is sold. This also gives you an idea of what's selling. You can go back and look at your SKU sheets and you can say, oh, well, it looks like all the turquoise sold, all the amethyst sold. You know, they bought a lot of earrings this week, whatever. So you can look at that. What's an ask if you said, I'm sorry, my brain wandered for a second. Ask you. My brain wanders all the time. Apparently, oh, a SKU sheet? What's a SKU sheet? Oh, okay. I was like, what's an ask you? A SKU sheet is just a sheet that you make on Excel and it's like a graph. So it has one side you put numbers on one column and then in the other columns is where you can put your description and your price of whatever your item is. And it's just an easy way to keep them numbered, to keep your items numbered and to keep track of them. So you would have one SKU sheet for necklaces, one for earrings, one for bracelets and so on. And then that way your SKU, you would have different numbers. So on my necklace sheet, it says necklace. So it says N-1, N-2, N-3. But now on my bracelet sheet, it says B-1, B-2. On the set sheet, it says the word set-1, set-2. So then you put that number, set-1, into your listing for a specific item. And that's how you can keep track of inventory. Yeah. I didn't start that until I was well into my Etsy doings, and I would suggest to just start doing it. Just do it, because then you'll be used to doing it and you won't have to go through and re-SKU everything. This also helps you for never delete anything off your Etsy. If you just deactivate it, don't delete anything. So I have stuff when I want to go to craft shows, I will go in to my Etsy and I will pull a bunch of inventory from my baskets, things I want to take. They all have a number on them. I'll go into my Etsy. I will type in the number in the search at the top of my Etsy page, that thing will pop up. I'll deactivate it, put that in my go to the craft show bin. That way, if it sells at the craft show, I don't have to worry about it still being online. Hi, Randy, everyone. You're looking like you're feeling better. I'm glad the docs have given you some answers. Thank you, Nancy. Yes, I am currently waiting to go to the specialist for them to confirm that I have carotid artery disease. Yeah, that's what they're calling it, carotid artery disease. And the specialist is going to tell me if we need to do something, like if they want to do surgery on the carotid arteries to maybe put in like a stent or clean them out or something. So I have to wait to see him, but he hasn't called yet. So okay, Christine, have a good day. Thanks for joining us. You can go into your listings and you can search for these specific items. You can deactivate them, take them to your craft show, whatever. There is an option on Etsy where you can hook up your Square point of sale, that little Square thing where you run the credit cards. Okay, you can do that and it will hook your inventory to your Square sale, and then you won't have to do this manual search and deactivate. However, it's going to double charge you. Etsy's going to charge you a percentage for your sale, and Square is going to charge you a percentage for your sale. So that's why I don't do that. That's a personal thing. I just prefer to deactivate and then reactivate on my website. You do have to go through your inventory, but quite honestly, I feel like it's kind of an important thing to go through your inventory anyways to see what's in there. If you deactivate, you don't have to worry about maybe selling the item on Etsy and at the craft show. Yes, that's correct. And then it's always there. And you don't have to, when you deactivate something from Etsy, so you just click it and then it's no longer viewable to the public, but you've paid for that listing to be active. So it will be active for 3 months. So if you reactivate it within that 3-month time frame, you don't have to pay 20 cents to reactivate it. It's already activated. But if you paid for it and then you deactivated it right away and it went past the 3-month time frame, then you have to pay again 20 cents. The whole payment situation in the beginning, so what you do is you put your items up there. It's free to have the shop. But they do take a percentage of your sale. Etsy takes 5% of all of your sales. Also, there's a listing fee of 20 cents. So every listing you make, they're going to charge you 20 cents. So you don't have to, you're like, okay, Randy, well, do I have to have that 20 cents up front? Do I have to have it on a prepaid thing? No, they will charge your account. Okay, so you have an Etsy account. They'll charge your account versus whatever money you're bringing in. So like I have my Etsy shop set up to pay me once a week. So it will charge and take that money out of my account from purchases that people have already made. I don't know if that makes sense. So if I'm making listings, let's say Rosanna buys a necklace, she pays me $20. That $20 goes into an account and it's held until I want it to pay me. So of that $20 now, throughout my week, I'm posting new items. So when I post a new item, it's 20 cents. So they're going to take 20 cents from that Rosanna's $20 that she paid me for all these things that I'm doing on Etsy. Okay, if I print a shipping label and that's $4, they're going to take that out of that $20. That's over here. Now, if this $20 gets to zero, they're going to put it against my account because they know they still have to pay me money. Or you can put in a card where, like a prepaid PayPal card, where they'll take it out right away. But for the most part, they will hold it until they do your money on a certain day. So then Etsy pays me on whatever's left. Let's say there's $8 left from this $20 Rosanna paid for her necklace after all these things I did. They pay me my $8 on Monday. Okay, and so it goes like that. So it's kind of like it it will do that. But if you get to a point where there's a what is that word, threshold, if you get to $50, you owe Etsy $50, then they'll charge your card on file. I have sold on Etsy and gotten nothing for what I sold. Oh my, that's not good. They didn't pay you anything? I would call about that. Unless you were doing like a bunch of listings and a bunch of like other things too, like listing new things in your shop. Because they charge you 20 cents when you list it, and they charge you 20 cents when they sell it, and they take 5%, and then you got to pay for whatever shipping you said you'd pay for. No. So that's kind of the deal with that. The other thing I would say is if you want to start up an Etsy shop, the number one thing is get yourself, if you don't want to have a business account, like if you could get a business bank account, do that. If you don't want to do that, go on PayPal. You have your PayPal account, okay? You can use your PayPal account. There's a card on PayPal that it's free to get. It's a prepaid PayPal card. It's directly linked to your PayPal account online, but it's different. One's a card and one is your online money. You know what I mean? So that has a routing number. So you can use that PayPal as your bank. So that's what I first did, is I hooked that PayPal account to my Etsy. And then if I needed physical money, I would transfer. So Etsy would transfer it to PayPal, to the online money. I would keep it in there, make my online purchases, whatever. But if I needed money in the store because I was going to go buy a soda or whatever, I would then transfer money, which is free, from your PayPal to your PayPal card, and you just use it like a credit card. Okay. And the only thing they do with that to hook it up is they will send like a little deposit, like a penny, to your PayPal to make sure it's working. That takes a couple of days to verify it and everything. And then when you order your physical card, it takes, 7 days to get the card, and then you got to activate it. And then again, they will be like, okay, transfer money over there, make sure it's working. And so to get it set up, it takes a little while, but do that. And then make all of your business purchases only on that account. If you had to go to the beat store and spend $30, put that on the business account. If you had to order beads online, put that on the business account. All that stuff, act like you're two different people. So you have your personal money and then you have your business money. So then what you can do is you can say, okay, every week I'm going to pay me $100 for my own personal use. If you're like me, everything I buy is for my business anyways. Buy not very much groceries. It's pretty much beads and leather and ordering from this one and on Amazon and whatever. And that's all done through your business account. So the reason for that is if I don't know what your state is, but in my state, if you make over $600 on Etsy or any kind of hobby selling, if you make over $600, you have to report that to the government. So $600 is the threshold for Minnesota. You then have to file for your business. Okay. So to keep track of all that tax stuff, what I would just suggest you do, if you really want to jump into an Etsy business and have an Etsy business, get yourself an accountant. Somebody who keeps your books and somebody who's going to do your taxes, because you have to do sales taxes and you have to do for all the different states that you're in. I'm in Minnesota, but if I went over to North Dakota and I did a craft show over there, I now have to file sales taxes in North Dakota. They recently changed the online tax laws, and Etsy is collecting for online taxes. But if you're doing craft shows, physical shows, then you have to file for all those different places. And it can get really confusing. And then maybe you don't know what's deductible and what's not deductible. And you get to deduct your You get to deduct your business expenses and things like this, some meals, some gas, beads, supplies, that type of thing. So what I do is I just went down to my local tax guy and I said, hey, I need somebody to keep my books. My guy charges me $95 a month to keep my books. And then he has all the information for tax time. I don't have to, I tried to do it myself the first 2 years, I think it was the first 2 years. Oh, it was a wreck. And then I didn't feel confident if I knew if I was doing it right, if I was getting all the deductions that I should be getting, or if I was overpaying or underpaying or whatever. So I just do that, and then I just take my bank statements and my PayPal card information to Kyle, and Kyle does all that. Luckily in Montana, we don't have sales taxes, but when I sell in Idaho, in Washington, I do have to pay their sales taxes. Yes. You also have to set up your shop. It's very important to set your shop up for what state you're in and what your taxes are. There is a place on Etsy where you fill in your tax information so that Etsy knows what to withhold for your taxes. So they withhold all the Minnesota tax for me. And also for other states, they're already paying that in throughout the year. So it automatically comes out before I ever even see any of the money. They've paid that tax, so I don't have to worry about it. I only have to worry about physical shows that I'm doing. So just like when you go to a physical show and you're using your Square point of sale, you set up in there where you are and what the tax rate is. And if it's like, I don't even know, 5.25% or whatever it is, you set that up in there for the county that you're in. So that's the deal with that. But yeah, I know I was like, oh yeah, I'm not going to go into detail about all this. Clearly that didn't happen. Anyway, I hope that some of that was helpful. Number one, keep your number one rule, keep your business money separate from your personal money. Because if you don't, what will happen is you're going to have to go in when you have to file this, because you're going to be great. You're going to make lots of sales. You're going to have to go in through both of your accounts now and double check everything. Was this a business sale? Was this not a business sale? Was this a personal sale? What's this doing over here? You're going to have to do 2 accounts when you would only have to do 1 if you only use 1 account. So you want to work smarter, not harder. Because we don't have time to be working harder, trust me. So do that. And then if you really want to be serious about it, I would get a bookkeeper. If you feel like you can do it yourself, then do it. But if you don't, like me, feel confident, then just get a bookkeeper. It's not that expensive, and you can write them off as a tax expense for your business. So that's the kind of deal. But above all else, I would just say just start. If you want to start an Etsy shop, just start doing it. You can spend a lot of time in your head worrying about, well, what about this and how am I going to know about that? I did that. That doesn't help you because you still don't know. When you get down to it, opening your shop and you're like, well, okay, I'm just doing it and I'm going to put my listing up. You're not going to learn those things until you go through them. So I just tell people, like, look, put it up there. See what happens. If you only have 3 things in your shop, then you only have 3 things. In 6 months, you're going to have more than 3 things. So, whatever. I was worried in the beginning about, I wanted to have inventory, which is nice. I'll tell you that much. It's nice to have some inventory made, but you don't have to put all your inventory on your shop. You could have inventory made and you could put 10 items in your shop. And then as those things sell out, you sold 2 items this week, you could post up 2 new items. So you have 10 items in your shop. So it does look like your inventory is turning over and you are adding new items and stuff like that. Because you're not going to just start an Etsy business and sell out everything. I mean, hopefully you do. But for most of us, it's like you have to wait for the sale to come in. and you're doing other things while you're waiting and whatever, and you want your inventory to look like it's, people are buying and people are leaving stuff, but you're not going to be like, you're not just going to open your shop and like be an instant success. It takes time to build up your client base. It takes time for you to start getting sales and people leave reviews. The more reviews you get, then the more trusted of a shop you appear to be. The longer you've been in business, the more people are opt to buy from you, which I know is kind of like, it's like, well, how's that supposed to work? That's just what it is. So that's why I just say, well, just get started. Just get started, and you'll learn all those things that you have to learn, and you just have to go with your hair on fire and just go for it. Just do it. Because that's the only way to go. I've always wondered if some sellers on Etsy overcharge for shipping for the profit. Different prices from everyone's shippings on Etsy. Well, there are things in place to prevent that type of thing on Etsy. Like if you put in your listing, you're going to charge $20 for this shipping, and it's like a whatever. It's the item's only $5. There's a little thing that's going to pop up, and Etsy's going to flag you. And it'll flag you and be like, you're charging way too much for shipping. You need to lower this. Sometimes it won't even let you proceed with that listing. Sometimes it'll go into review, and sometimes it'll just give you this warning, and then it'll flag you. And if you're doing that a lot, then they will shut your shop down. So they have a thing for that, but there are people who maybe add money. So everybody gets to set their own shipping, but it depends on how heavy the item is, how they're going to ship it, if it's going to be priority or if it's going to be first class shipping, or if it's a heavy item, or where it's coming from, where it's going. All of that depends on. And you can add, so like a thing that I do in my shop is, so my shipping is $4.25, but if you add 2 more items, so let's say you order a necklace and then you're going to order 2 other necklaces, I add a quarter for each of the items, because that's going to up the weight of the package, the original package, which was going to ship for $4.25, but now you've added 2 additional necklaces. And I might actually lose money on that, because what if you order 3 necklaces that are all completely made of stone, and now I got to ship a priority and you only paid $4.50. So priority is $8 because it's over the 16 ounces, you see. So you could avoid that by putting in the actual ounces of all of your items, because there is a place for that in the listing. And I just take the chance that maybe that won't happen. Because I'm like, I don't want to have to sit and weigh everything. But you could, I just figure I'll just ship it priority. And if if it has to be priority, then whatever. But yeah, there is stuff in place for that. I actually see more of that on like eBay. And like other, like, I don't know if Amazon does it, but sometimes you look and you're like, why is this item $5 and you're charging $25 to ship it? Like, that's insane. Shipping is always a hard thing, but that's why I said, know about shipping. That will help you. Get a scale, get a label printer. That's a little bit of an investment. The label printer. I have a Rollo label printer, so I print all my shipping at home. Then you don't have to spend time down at the post office, standing in line, waiting for that whole endeavor. Plus, they're going to charge you more money at the post office. If you buy it on Etsy, buy your labels on Etsy, even if you just had a regular printer and you have like the Avery, I used those for a long time, the Avery labels that you just print in your regular printer. But then you have to pay for those labels. When I looked at that cost, I was able to justify getting the thermal label printer. It was $200, and it came with 500 labels. but that ended up being cheaper than what it would have cost me in a year to use Avery regular printers to pay for ink, pay for the labels, and then print them at home. So, and I would never trade my thermal label printer. Do you figure in your packaging materials in your shipping? If not, you should. Yes, I have a quarter, about a quarter reserved for shipping materials, for my bubble mailers and things like that. My bubble mailers are not very expensive. I purchase them on Amazon, or eBay by the box. And if I order, wow, Randy, the more you know. I know. I'm just over here blabbering on. If you order, I order from Supply Warehouse. Supply Warehouse, is it Supply Warehouse? Yeah, Supply Warehouse, which is like a business. It's kind of like Uline, if you've ever heard of that. It's like a business store. Now they charge, because they're going to like big businesses, so they charge like freight shipping. But I have seen recently that they're changing their shipping options. But if I have to order from them, there's some things I do have to order from them. Like I order my white jewelry boxes that I use, and I order them from them because I buy them in bulk, and so I only have to pay one shipping charge, and they don't weigh very much. And you get a bunch of different sizes, and you get way more boxes, but you still have. So I order those, and then I order my earring cards, those little black velvety earring cards, from them as well. And I order. So when I'm doing that, I will then throw in the bubble mailers. Good morning. I will throw in the bubble mailers because I'm already making an order. I'm already going to pay shipping anyways from them, and they drop it off at the door. But you could get a big box, and I think it's like 250 bubble mailers, and it's like $20. So I only charge about 20 cents, 25 cents for all of the card and the bubble mailer and the shipping, the Rolo label that I use. But yes, I do include that in my shipping. What do you think of setting up at home and using PayPal business account? I came in late. What do you think of setting up at home and using a PayPal business account? Yeah, I am for using a PayPal business account. Well, business account. I use my PayPal as a business account. I don't have like an actual business account through PayPal. I just use my regular PayPal as my business account because I don't, I'm a sole proprietor. So a sole proprietor is somebody who is working as themselves. I work under an assumed name, Thunder Horse Descendant, but when I file taxes, I'm still filing as myself. I'm not filing separately as a business. I have to file business taxes. That's confusing. I'm filing under my social security number. I'm not filing under an LLC. If you are filing under an LLC, you can have as many business accounts as you want. Even if you're a sole proprietor, you can have business accounts, but you don't have to. And so that's kind of, because you have to pay more for business accounts, you have to pay more fees, you have to pay more stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm for PayPal. Now, if I'm not using Etsy, I use PayPal shipping. Anybody can use PayPal shipping. You just go to paypal.com/ship labels, something shipping labels, and you can print PayPal shipping labels and use the PayPal system to ship labels. And so I do that so that they can still print out on my Rolo printer, and I still get a discount from PayPal, and it's still charged to my business account. So so like when I do giveaways and I ship for free, that's how I ship them. And you can get insurance on PayPal and stuff like that too. So that's always an option. They also send an email, like an email receipt and stuff like that. So that's the goings on with that. Yeah, so the more you know, I guess. But my business is growing. I just started in 2015 as just doing my little hobby. Wanted to buy more beads, sold a couple of necklaces. I took that money. I didn't start with any startup money or anything like that. I didn't have any startup money. I just sold a necklace and turned around and bought more beads. How are you feeling? I am feeling better today. I bought more beads and sold that necklace. And I just kept going like that until we started getting going a little more. And now I'm in a new phase where I'm going to have to hire people to help me to do some stuff because I can't do everything by myself. And I have this medical stuff, so I'm enlisting people to help me, and we'll see how that goes. Now that's probably going to be a whole new learning experience for me because I'm like, want it done a certain way. That's the words I'm looking for. I'm like, oh yeah, write this description. Oh good. How about we put this in there, and how about we do like that? Like, so I'm working on like trying to not be so super controlling, but at the same time, it's like, you know, Thunder Horses in It is my baby, and I'm like, ah. So we'll see what happens. I'm also gonna try to talk to Jeff and see if I can get somebody. So I'm gonna get somebody to try to help me do descriptions and postings, like listings on the website, so I don't have to worry about that. And then also somebody who would like to come in a couple of days a week and just help me with like whatever random things I have to do, like follow me around and put this away, you know, how I don't like to do that. Because my studio's a wreck. And help me maybe like do some photos or upload to YouTube, you know, different stuff like that. Now your baby needs a babysitter. Sometimes that's more stressful anyway. My way. Oh, I know. Yeah. So I'm working on it, but it's going to be a new phase as well. I'm hoping it'll be less stressful, so that'll be better for me for my medical stuff and be just, you know, more life balance. Because it can be like if you know, if you really are in your head about it, you can really just like be in your business all the time, and that's not good. So I'm going to try to do some stuff like that. Did you see Randy's Jesse James necklace? Do you really like that one, Cloris? Yeah, I really like that one. It was fun to make. I really liked it. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to be on Jesse James on Friday doing the live. So after I get off here with you guys, because oh my goodness, I've been on here for an hour. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do for that. I don't know. You guys have I have I see Sarah listed them, and so I'm gonna make a design, not on here, but when I get off. Which one do you want me to use? Which strand? These are all the strands. This is the purple one. Now mine did not come with names. I think she said this one was periwinkle. I like that one. This one I think is coral. This one, I don't remember, jet blue or something she said. Aqua blue. Rust. I kind of like rust myself. And then I don't remember, mint. This green one I think she said was mint. And then there's this yellow one. Now this was the one I was kind of thinking about using just because it's yellow and I like yellow. I was looking in there. There's quite a lot of beads. I could probably get something on there. But I just didn't know if you guys wanted to pick a strand. I will say this rust one, I don't know if you guys can see this. This one right here has this weird, like circle. It's like got Chinese crystals around a rondelle. I don't know. I thought that was interesting. Rust, blue and yellow. Yeah, so there are some new little interesting bits, I would say, on these new Pantone strands. Like this crystal has, I think maybe they're not built in. No, maybe not. I like the purple and the periwinkle, or the rust and the yellow. The rust. I'm hearing a lot about the rust. Purple? I just don't know how I feel about that one. I really like this one and this one. But now these are silver. This one's silver and one is bronze. So I don't know. I was kind of thinking these two wouldn't be nice together. They're very bright, but again, one is silver and one is bronze. I will make a choice between these three. Between the periwinkle, the rust, and this yellow pack. I got to figure out what I'm making first to see. I don't know. I feel like I've been making a lot of necklaces lately. What did I make last time I was on there? I don't remember. When I was live, I made... This is part of the problem. What did I make? Oh, you guys, I have no idea. I think I made a necklace. I think I did. Last time I was live. I think I made a necklace. The time before that, I know I made a set. I made it was blue. Oh, the feather necklace. Did I make that live, Rosanna? Well, anyway. Oh, no. I made the Easter cha-cha bracelet. That's what it was. The cha-cha bracelet. Okay, well, then I could probably make a necklace this time. I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't want to just be like, make the same thing over and over. So I will choose from these three. I'll come up with a design and then I'll see what beads fit better. Because sometimes if I need a lot of beads, I'll probably have to go with this one. But if my design is, you know, can work with these kind of beads, then we'll see. That's kind of how I do it. Bracelet. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I think that we have chit-chatted enough. I'm so glad you guys were all here to listen to my Etsy doings. If you ever have questions or you want me to talk about something on Morning Coffee, you can message me or just comment on one of the videos, on one of the like YouTube videos, not in like one of these chats, but like on one of my actual YouTube videos, because that comes to my studio and I check those and I try to reply to people. So if you put it in there, I'll find it. And then I can try to answer some stuff if you want or if whatever. So that's what I got going on today. Today is what day? Thursday? Thursday, I'm just going to do designing today. Have a great day. Thank you, Nancy. That yellow is yellow. It's too yellow? I think it's supposed to be like neon yellow. I'm kind of into it. I don't know. But I like yellow. Yellow looks good on me. That's probably why. Have a great day. Take care. Yeah, thank you guys so much. And I will try to be back tomorrow for morning coffee. Morning coffee generally is between 9 and 10 o'clock. Depends on how my life is. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and make something super spectacular. And if you could share some photos on the Thunder Horse Ascendant group, that would be great. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.